And the memory reconsolidation, remember, is just, it is a hypnotherapy technique that does help rewire the subconscious mind. But I do just want to state again, as I did last week, that it's kind of skimming the surface. This is not one and done memory reconsolidation and memory's not there, or it's only positive ripples that come out of the memory. We're just skimming the surface and trying to clear the top remnants of the surface up from some emotional surge and some jolt that comes from some memories. Some memories we won't even be able to access on the surface. It's not deep enough yet, which is fine. This is just one of the steps going forward in the process to get a little bit of traction and then momentum. So it is a hypnotherapy technique. And in the next module, in module 2, in section 2 of the program, I'll teach you more about what that means. And when we go deeper into the subconscious in the next section, you're going to understand that better, why some memories don't even come up, or if you try to move some through some emotional surge of the memory, you might feel just a little bit of a shift in your body, but not a whole lot. And that does have to do with the, let's keep it just high level for section 1. It has to do with the core beliefs that are still lodged underneath that emotional surge, underneath that memory. So it's completely fine. Everything's okay. If you did the exercise for the memory reconsolidation and you saw a big shift, also don't think, oh, well, I can just do this with every memory and it's going to work. It won't, because it's just used to skim the surface, and there are deeper emotions attached to deeper core beliefs, and it's all okay. We're going to work through them in the next section and then really get some traction in section 3 with deliberate intention, moving forward in life with clarity. So to recap what we've done so far, we start out with triggers, and we also can start out with even repeated patterns in life, looking to see what we see being repeated that's affecting our life in a negative way. If it's something that's affecting our life in a positive way, great. We want more of that. But if it's holding us back or sabotaging our life or causing us pain and even scarring above, over top of that pain and over top of that pain, then that's what we want to just shift in our life to get traction towards joy and creation and collaboration and really rippling out positive energy and connection with other people. So we start out with triggers or repeated patterns just to start to be able to consciously see, and I point to my prefrontal cortex because that's our logical reasoning part of the brain. We want to be able to bring into our awareness things that we want to shift in our life. That's why step 1 in this program, section 1 in this program, is consciousness. Oh, another way to say it is awareness. We want to be aware of things that we're not aware of. Or we might see, oh, we know that that's a trigger or a repeated pattern, but then start to understand why. So we're just bringing it into our awareness. So section 1 is conscious awareness, or another way to say it is know yourself. Section 2 in the program, we're going to dive deeper into the subconscious to accept ourselves. And it will deepen the understanding also of why things are happening and how we can work with those to really shift our life. And then the third section is to create yourself, which becomes the super conscious, which is energy being able to flow through the body energy or emotion, remember, is energy in motion. So allowing that emotion to come up as a messenger service, see it as a messenger service, accept it as a messenger service, and allow it to flow through the body, to then be able to get to deeper core beliefs and bring those core beliefs into the present day, where they're stuck in the past. In the subconscious, it's stuck in the past. So we use triggers and repeated life patterns to see what we want to tweak. And this is not self-improvement. I'm even kind of coming to the point where I don't even use those words self-improvement anymore. This is almost a self-unveiling. So we are like flowers and we have petals around us. We start to open the petals up and see our true self inside the flower, which is the life force inside the flower, if you think of it. So we have triggers that just, again, a messenger service to show us where we need help in life. I'm making sure it's not a student trying to get in. It's not, it's okay. So another recap of the classes so far is that our brain is a computer based on programming. Hi, Julie. Julie is entering. Welcome in. So our brain is a computer that has programming based on past experiences. And our subconscious mind, especially, is a predictor machine. So the brain tries to predict what's going to happen next based on the programming and past experiences of the past. So the brain becomes a prediction machine based on programming. That programming is the meaning that the brain has given to experiences that have happened in the past, which is also how core beliefs get formed and they get anchored in. This is why I even have the anchor in my office. The anchor's on the blanket to remind us that we get anchored in from past experiences, and those past experiences keep showing up over and over in our daily life, trying to get our attention. So the brain is a prediction machine based on past experiences. The brain only knows what's happened in the past or what's been programmed in the past because the future hasn't happened yet. So that's all the more it can help us with. The problem is that our perception of reality is a little bit jolted and a little bit inaccurate because we only see bits and pieces of our present world because our eyesight can only take in certain bits of information at a time. Our brain actually fills in information that's going on in the present moment based on its programming from past experiences that it then uses to try to predict the future, which is what perception is. When we have had a lot of emotional overwhelm, or even one or two instances of emotional overwhelm that is very, like, causes a very great emotional surge, the system is actually trying to get our attention, that there are core beliefs under the surface in our subconscious mind that need attention because they are not aligned in the present moment. So we have this pattern that keeps happening, or this trigger that keeps happening, because there's a core belief in our inner system that is not aligned with present reality, or what another part of us knows as present reality. So perception is formed of our current reality based on little pieces of information inside, remember the blinders, like a horse's bridle, like inside of those blinders of survival mode based on past experiences. So that's a lot of moving parts. See how many moving parts there are. So I did upload in last week's lesson and also this week's lesson. If you didn't catch it, there's a documentary on PBS that is called Perception Deception. And this is what it's explaining. It's about 45 minutes long, and it's explaining how the brain tries to fill in information to get us to understand what is going on in the present reality. The problem is that the brain is looking for danger. It's looking for anything that looks like that past pain that it's trying to prevent happening again based on bits and pieces of information that the brain fills in the present world. So I have the brain fills in the missing pieces of perception with information that is biased towards the negative core belief. So it's looking for bits of information that's going to validate this core belief. And core beliefs that affect our life and create triggers at the very basic, the deepest level are: I'm not worthy, I don't have a choice, nobody hears me, I don't have a voice, I'm all alone, I'm separate. Those are core beliefs that are creating that emotional surge that creates the trigger in the present reality because of the brain filling in these little bits and pieces of information. So last week we started getting into emotions and that we are meaning-making machines that judge our emotions as good or bad. But really, emotions are a messenger service to try to get our attention. Now, at the surface level, it looks like they're trying to get our attention of what might be dangerous in the moment. But ultimately, emotions are trying to get our attention, get a message to us to show us something is reflecting in our outer world in reality in the present day that is sparking, it's pinging a negative core belief inside of us. So emotions are a messenger service. The body also is a messenger service. And in Western medicine, we've kind of been taught and programmed that we are separate. The mind is separate from the body, is separate from the emotions. And it's not true. It's actually very interconnected. So the core beliefs in the subconscious mind absolutely have direct access to the electrical system in our body, the nervous system, and can create body sensations based on that emotional surge that's coming up from the core belief. So they're very interrelated.